I've always been a really good writer all my life. And it's kind of been my ticket. And I wanted to write books. So I went to Columbia Journalism School because I wanted to write books about celebrities. Now, those kinds of jobs go to other celebrities or celebrities' children. They don't go to somebody who, grew up on a military base in Texas. So once I graduated from Columbia Journalism School and I saw the writing on the wall, it was like, well, you got to get a job. You're not going to go to Hollywood and just make it big. That's what I thought. The only jobs available were jobs that nobody wanted at that time, which was writing about business, it was writing about finance, and so I took the first job I could get. And it was about personal finance. And it happened to be at a time when there weren't that many personal finance books. And it happened to be a time when it was kind of getting hot. Personal finance was getting hot. And they couldn't find people to write about this. Nobody, they didn't want to write about it. And I was kind of in a position where I had to write about it. And I got my first book deal, not as a novelist or ghostwriting a celebrity book, but writing a personal finance book. And I was just happy to get a book deal, period, end of story. I wanted, as a writer, that's the be all and the end all. You just want a book deal. And it didn't really matter that the topic was personal finance. I wanted a book deal. And so I ended up writing this book about personal finance, and that was my first book. And I went on a book tour that Charles Schwab paid for. And, I was just like, I was in heaven. This is what I wanted. So then it led to another book, to, 3 or 4 books. And one of my most famous books of all was Cash in the City, Affording Martinis, Manolos, and Manicures on a Working Girl's Salary. And this was a time when Sex in the City was really, really big. And I still had these Hollywood aspirations. So I had thought of, what can I do to get to Hollywood? Because that was my ulterior motive. And so I came up with that title, Cash in the City. My editor at the publishing house loved it. They published it, and it led to a TV show on the Discovery Channel where I hosted it. And that was my little Hollywood thing. I turned writing about personal finance into a Hollywood career that then led to acting. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm a back to basics kind of person. And I realized, being out in the world in all these different ways, that ultimately the bottom line is the dollar. And that is where steady money is in a regular job, or, you want to have something to fall back on, because Hollywood is not reliable at all.